2025 was a pretty good year for movies, and while I only watched 11 new releases this year, I think, at least at the time of writing this, right after seeing Marty Supreme in theaters, now there are so many other movies that came out this year, and because I don't have enough money to go to the theater every week, I only saw 11. This will be a pretty short video, hopefully, all 11 new releases in 2025 that I saw, ranked from worst to best. In last place, it's a Minecraft movie. For what an experience the Minecraft movie phenomenon was, I mean, you had to be there to understand the feeling that this movie created. Every last line of this film was quoted and burned into my brain, but that doesn't mean it was very good. It was fun, and I would rewatch it again more than a lot of these movies on this list because it's really simple and fun, but it's not a good movie, and I'm judging it based on if the movie is actually good.
Flint and steel.
Hopefully in the future a worthy adaptation of the game is made, but for now, this is not the best movie. Number 10 is Elio. I don't know. It's not unknown that Pixar has been far out of their prime for years, but the 2020s have proved that Pixar can continue to make great movies. Even Inside Out 2, their first good sequel in 14 years, and their only good sequel outside of the Toy Story franchise. The story is kind of interesting, but none of the characters are that great. The main bond between Elio and the slug dude comes in too late. The villain is decently funny, but these stupid council aliens are so fucking annoying. Like, none of them are likable, and I honestly want to see the villain win because of how annoying they are. It's boring. It's probably the worst Pixar movie of the decade so far, but like, it's not abysmal or anything. 9 is my biggest hot take. It is Superman. Superman 2025 was not good. The only reason it's just above Elio is because it isn't as boring. I would probably want to rewatch this over that. This classic Superman message about humanity and kindness, of course, that's great, but expressed literally through one monologue with the worst possible lighting. Like, oh my god, this movie looks so bad. Also, Krypto, his dog, being all CGI, looks like shit. The flying looks like shit. All these random side characters who work for the Daily Planet mean nothing, and all Lex Luthor does is leak Superman, like Mysterio did in Far From Home. I was not entertained by Lex Luthor except for like a couple of scenes. I could actually go into depth about how unenjoyable this movie was, but it's really just not good, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. 8 is Jurassic World Rebirth. After what an abomination Jurassic World Dominion was, I wasn't too hopeful for the turnout of Rebirth. But after a complete reset of the characters, it was looking to be good because there is once again another island. Instead of the main park island and the breeding ground island that we've established before, we have InGen's like inbreeding fuck everything island where they keep incredibly dangerous mutant dinosaurs. Who in their right mind would think it's okay to create a monster like the T-Rex? This is a very formulaic movie where you know exactly who's going to die, and somehow the main 3 characters don't die, obviously. It was pretty enjoyable. It just wasn't like the best in the franchise. And number 7 is the new Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man. The third installment of James Bond solving mysteries that like slightly don't follow the exact trope of a normal murder mystery. The themes of religion and abuse of religious power and corruption are once again amazing. And of course, all the suspects are gonna be awful people, like you hate all of them. Also, the father priest dude is played by Josh O'Connor, the same guy who plays Remick in Sinners. These are literally completely opposite characters. I liked it, but there's some pacing flaws and some parts really drag on and you don't really know where it's going in some places, but overall it's pretty good. Number 6 is The Long Walk. I was long anticipating this movie, and maybe that led me to being let down a little bit, but this movie was still amazing. Very similar to Squid Game and Hunger Games, The Long Walk is a contest to boost morale of the workforce in a falling economy, in America, obviously. 50 guys sign up and walk, that's it. And the last one standing is the winner. Of course, there's the problem of feet hurting, sleeping, uphill, downhill, rain, wind, using the bathroom, eating, all that stuff. The amount of chemistry and natural interactions between all the characters really immerses you into their situation, partly because they don't care about privacy or embarrassment anymore. They will most likely die, and if they win, they have nothing to lose. For as little screen time he gets, you really despise the Major, the villain in this movie, The guy organizing this whole thing. You don't even know his backstory, his motive. You don't even know his name. He's just a power enforcing this depressing and evil event. The reason this movie is at 6 is because, yes, it is just walking. So it gets a bit boring sometimes, and a lot of the deaths happen off screen or feel too quick to be like attached to. Like, you feel like they die way too quick, even though it's realistic they die like that. But it's a really solid movie, just not as good as I was hoping. Number 5 is Weapons. After watching Barbarian for the first time back in March, I was very excited to see this film. And while it didn't disappoint, it did surprise me. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. The concept of an entire classroom running out the door at the same time and never returning is very creepy and interesting. The way this movie is structured with 6 different parts following 6 different characters through the same time really immerses you in the situation that this small town is in. What I wasn't expecting was this movie to be way funnier than it was. The entirety of James's segment is hilarious, and of course the ending, which all the tension's building up to this, and when it's released, Zach Cregger just decides to make everything a joke. People did hate this ending, but my entire theater was laughing, including me. It's a great movie, and the villain's great. Number 4 is, fittingly, Fantastic Four. There was a bunch of hype around this movie, considering that every other Fantastic Four movie was garbage, and that the look of this movie was amazing. I mean, we got a stacked cast with Eddie Munson from Stranger Things and Joel Miller. But in all seriousness, they couldn't have handled this any better. I mean, maybe they could have, but like, from my perspective, this was perfect. Sure, there wasn't a lot of action, which could have been changed, but there was more focus on the characters and the world of the movie. You really feel like everyone's in danger and Earth is doomed. There was 2 main sequences in the middle and obviously the climax of the movie with some great action. I mean, we literally got the Silver Surfer surfing on a black hole, which is sick. And the use of Galactus was actually amazing. And in all honesty, this movie deserves a production design nomination. Even though it's a lot of CGI for the city, so maybe special effects nomination, I don't know. But they finally made a good Fantastic Four movie, so I'm happy. Number 3 is One Battle After Another. I had no idea what to expect from this movie. When I first saw the title, I thought it was going to be some corny straight-to-streaming movie, until I saw that it had DiCaprio and was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. This first, 45 minutes felt incredibly long, and it could have been cut down a lot or paced a little better, but as soon as we get into the present day, it is non-stop goodness. The entire movie is practically a chase, DiCaprio trying to find his daughter while she tries to escape from a corrupt military colonel. Speaking of which, this is the best villain of the year. Sean Penn's performance as this insanely racist, bigoted, disgusting military official who is the actual father of DiCaprio's daughter is unbelievable. This is easily the best of the year. The way this movie was shot was excellent, and all the characters bring such realism to this extremely realistic depiction of America and a possible rebellion group in the French 75. Also, this movie is really funny. It's just really funny. A couple of problems with this movie, like the pacing, but other than that, it is great. Number 2 is the big one, Marty Supreme. This is the most recent on the list, and at the time of the recording this, huge all over social media because of the absolutely unbelievable marketing for this movie. Considering it is an original movie about a ping pong player, it needed good marketing to make its money, which is why $70 million went to marketing. And it worked on me, especially after seeing Timothée Chalamet's verse on 4 Raw.
Just turned 17, I'm living the dream, getting the cream, I'm living on theme, I'm doing my thing, it's Marty Supreme, it's Marty Supreme, it's Marty Supreme.
I wanted to see this movie because of Tyler, the Creator at first when I saw the first trailer, but then come December, it hit me just how different this movie will be than what I thought it was going to be. This movie is an absolute beast of a film. People who don't like it literally don't understand it, and that's kind of just factual. I won't spoil anything as the movie is still in theaters and really recent, but the casting of this movie was literally perfect. I mean, genuinely perfect. The chemistry and interactions between all the characters was so natural, especially Wally and Marty. The plot twists and the directions the story takes Marty and flow so well. Again, it's kind of hard to explain everything without spoiling, but this would easily be the movie of the year. It is just so suspenseful, interesting, funny, actually. It's pretty funny, but it's just barely beaten out by the number 1 spot. Of course, the number 1 spot is Sinners. Literally, what else would it be? If there's any movie that's better than Marty Supreme that came out this year, it's Sinners. like one battle after another and Marty Supreme, all I knew about Sinners was that it had vampires. That was it. So I was a little confused that it took an hour until any vampire ever showed up, and I was confused in that first hour, and while I was entertained, I was confused. But as soon as Remick shows up at the hour mark, literally on fire, the entire first half of the movie makes sense. And the rest of the movie in that club has some of the most exhilarating, stressful, and actually scary sequences ever. The racial themes of this movie are obvious. I mean, it's not like super on your nose, but like, come on, what were you expecting? But it also makes Remick such a good villain. His issue and motive comes from a racial standpoint, because he's an Irish vampire. And it's also funny because the first people he turns into vampires are members of the way the vampires work in this movie too is amazing. I never really knew vampire lore about them needing to be invited in and that they are a hive mind from the original vampire. All side characters are memorable and likable, and of course Michael B. Jordan's performance of Smoke and Stack was amazing. And Miles Catton, who is the main character, even though Michael B. Jordan is of course on all the posters, does an amazing job for literally his first movie. And lastly, the score is the best out of any score all year. Marty Supreme's is amazing, and One Battle After Another is composed by Johnny Greenwood, who I love, but Sinners has one of, if not the best score I think I've ever seen for a movie. Like, at least top 5 for me. This is pretty much a 10 out of 10 movie and is easily the best of 2025, in my opinion. Yeah, so that was the video. I hope my Superman ranking wasn't too bad. And Happy New Year. Big things to come in the Grand 26.
Water bucket, release! Flint and steel.
The Nether.
Elytra wingsuit. Coming in hot!
They want me to fight the chicken?
Chicken jockey.